He turns down a one-way street. Then Rachel notices this car coming and yells out, "Please!" Out of control, a senseless mission. Next thing you know, a head-on collision. No, we don't know what tomorrow will bring us. Let's live today. I'm saying just in case.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
But I know that there's more. More for you, more for us.
Children, rain all night long. Didn't it all, didn't it all, oh, my Lord, didn't it rain? Didn't it rain, children? Rain all night long. Didn't it all? Didn't it all? Oh, my Lord, didn't it rain?
You can't run from it. You can't deny it. You can't pass it off. It's your call. God knew what he was doing. He knew who he was calling. And he expertly and intricately detailed every aspect of your life, your being, your persona, your psyche, your physicality, everything about you, from the texture of your hair to the color of your eyes to the way that you laugh to the fingerprint on your thumb. Everything is connected to your calling. And until you walk into the fullness of the thing that you were created for, you will find yourself frustrated. You're called.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
not supposed to be green, like faith's not supposed to be seen. The sky's not supposed to touch the ground, and a square's not supposed to be round. The moon's not supposed to touch the sun, and a two is not supposed to be a one. And the heart's not supposed to weigh a ton, and forever's not supposed to be done. Winter's not supposed to come in June, and I am not supposed to have the blues. There are so many things that are not supposed to be, babe, except you and me. There are so many things that I'm not supposed to be. Ooh, baby, yeah, except you and me. Night's not supposed to be long. Yeah. No one is supposed to be alone. Understanding is not supposed to be confused. And the wind is not supposed to lose. Like fire's not supposed to freeze. Or like joy is not supposed to grieve. Like you are not supposed to leave. What I said I'm not supposed to mean. He is not supposed to have your heart. Baby, we are not supposed to be apart. There are so many things that are not supposed to be said. You and me. There are so many things that are not supposed to be. Hey, baby, it seems just like no seasons changing, or this earth with no creation, or a heart with no feelings, or a sickness without a healing, just like a frozen spring, or a bird with no wings.
Let's go.
Just like a song out of key.
Check.
That's how my life would be.
Check 2. Let's go.
Like the night skies with no stars. Lonely broken heart. No holding hands or walks in the park. That's how it would be if we were apart.
Thank y'all for joining me.
Things, yeah.
Yo.
Except love. So many things that are not supposed to be. It's like having nowhere to
Welcome to the platform, y'all.
Like having no words to breathe.
Oh.
Like having no rain for the sea. There are so many things that not supposed to be. Not supposed to be. Just you and me, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. It's just you and me.
Shout out to everybody that's here. Shout out to everybody in the land. What's going on? All my Leos, make some noise. Y'all know where we at. Yeah, this August the 1st. Whoever birthday is on August the 1st. What's up? I'm telling you now, you do not want to miss next Thursday. I'm going strictly TikTok and Rumble together. I done got it together. I done got it going. Shout out to everybody that's out there. Baby, we rocking. Shout out to everybody on TikTok that's watching me. They done gave me a streamer key on TikTok. Baby, you in trouble, because now we going live. All the time now. We going live. Oh, man. What's going on? Shout out to everybody that's in the Dream Team. Mama Mary in the building. Tennille in the building. Miss Virgo. J-Rock. Gossip News. Sparkle in the building. Okay, baby doll Sparkle's in the building. I see you. Who else? Willie in the building. Nene. Lexington. Judah. Tara. How y'all doing? Anybody I miss? Miss Virgo. April Marson is in the building. Hey, Dream Team, we got somebody new in the building. Everybody say hello to April Marson. Let's give her a Dream Team welcome. She is a rock star. She over there with Shank Rock and the rock star. I don't see Shank in the building yet. Okay. Shank must be live or doing something. Shout out to everybody. Marcia, how you doing? Willie, how you doing? So
check it. If you want to contribute to the channel, right? That's what I need you to do. If you want to contribute to the channel and you on YouTube, it's a box with a $sign in it. It's called the super chat. What I want you to do, let me turn this down a little bit. I'm a little too loud. What I want you to do is hit that box and donate. It's not mandatory, but I would like for you to do it so that way we can continue progressing on this channel. Also, if you on Rumble, there's a bag that got a $sign on it. It's called a Rumble bag. Hit that bag for me. Hit that bag from me. You know what I mean? Hit that bag from me and just do what you do. Nothing too big, nothing too small. I appreciate it all. If you on TikTok, just do me a favor. Tap that screen. Just hit that screen like that on TikTok, man. Just hit that screen. Just tap that screen. Make the hearts go up. 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 Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just hit that screen. Make the hearts go out. And the only thing that's mandatory is for you to like, share, and subscribe. That's it. I'm trying to get 10,000. I'm on the road to 10,000. Like, share, subscribe. Send it to your friends. Tell them, yo, like, share, subscribe. Send it to their friends. Like, share, subscribe. So if your friends reach out to them friends and them friends reach out to them other friends, we can get Dana J to 10,000. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kaysen. Kaysen, that's over on TikTok. Shout out Kaysen. I thank you so much. Doug F353, what's up? I thank you so much. So now TikTok don't have to be with the green screen in the back. They can see everything that everybody else see. I see True Talks in the building. She said, I can't hear the audio because I'm in that office, but you better talk about Shannon Sharpe. Laugh out loud. Love you, Dana. Love you back, True Talks. Oh yeah, we talked a little bit about Shannon today. We got a action-packed. We have an action-packed day today. I ain't gonna lie to you. We got an action-packed day today. And I'm gonna say this. I'm tired of people getting on the internet and lying. Tanil, hey, thank you for joining. Tanil, part of the team. Alice in Wonderland. What's going on? I'm tired of people getting on the internet lying. Everybody running with the narrative that Diddy judge went off today. You wait for it, because we talking about that today too. I got the paperwork. And even if Diddy judged, you know what? I'm going to jump the gun, and I'm not jumping the gun. And we're going to walk from the bottom. We're going to go all the way to the top. And we ending with Kales. I'm going to ask you a question. How many people knew about surviving R.Kelly? Put a 1 in the chat. What's going on? What's going on? Alice in Wonderland. Hey. Yeah, that's Tox. How many people knew about surviving R.Kelly? Put a 1 in the chat. If you knew about surviving R.Kelly, put a 1 in the chat. I got one person that knew about surviving R.Kelly. Okay. 2 people. 3 people. 4 people. Okay. If you knew about surviving R.Kelly, put a 1 in the chat. If you knew about the documentary or the liamentary that Drea Lee put their daughter up to do, put a 2 in the chat. Miss Ann to Bless 61. Hey, how you doing? Miss Ann to be Blessed 61 is in the building on TikTok. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody hit that tap that screen, y'all. We going in. I'm showing folks how to do it now. Everybody like, dang, how are you connected to so many platforms at one time? Because I make it do what it do, baby. That's why. I wouldn't be the GOAT if I wasn't. I wouldn't be the GOAT. I just learned how to do things while people focus on one platform. No, I want all platforms. I want everybody to hear what I got to say. So come on over. Like, share, subscribe on Rumble. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe on LinkedIn. Like, share, subscribe on Instagram. Like, share, subscribe on TikTok. Like, share, subscribe on Twitch. Like, share, subscribe on X. Like, share, subscribe on Facebook. That's how we doing it. That's how we doing it. So y'all knew about the first Rymier, right? I'm going to ask you this question. How many people knew about the third one called The Rise and Fall of R.Kelly's Empire? If you know about that, put a 3 in the chat. Because I'm going to tell you, I didn't. If you knew about the rise and fall of the R. Kelly Empire, put a 3 in the chat. Because, see, I'm ready to go in today. I'm ready to go in today. It's a Friday night. Just got paid. Let's get down now. Angel time. I'm telling you, I'm ready to go all night tonight. I got one person that knew about that. Wow. Because I didn't know about it. So let's go here. Do you want to see it tonight? I'm going to ask it DX style. Are you ready? Do you want to see that Rymier tonight? Yes or no? If y'all want to see it, put hell yeah in the chat. If y'all don't want to see it, put no in the chat. Put no in the chat. Y'all know what I'm saying. Put no in the chat. If y'all want to see it, put hell yeah. Let's see what they talking about. If y'all don't want to see it, put no in the chat. I got 2 yes. 2 yes. All I want to do is just say yes. I got 2. Okay. So we're going to end with that tonight. All right. So let's go there. Let's jump in. Let's go. Let's jump in. Let's go. Let's put this up here. Let's see. Where'd that go? There we go. We loaded up with everything. Let's get to talking. Let's get our content in. Former NBA star Gilbert Arenas arrested on federal indictment over alleged illegal gambling operations. Come on, Gilbert. You know better than that, brother. What we know so far about Gilbert Arenas' federal arrest: a bombshell federal court indictment dropped Wednesday, and former NBA star Gilbert Arenas is right at the center of it. Authorities hit Arenas and 7 others with serious charges over allegedly running an illegal gambling operation. The indictment claims these underground poker games went down at Arenas' Encino mansion and other secret spots across Los Angeles. Whenever you hear something like that, I'm telling you now, whenever you hear something like that, somebody that got jealous went and snitched. I'm going to tell you now, somebody that got jealous went and snitched. Somebody that got jealous went and snitched. Gilbert Arenas claims Tesla Cybertruck steering wheel malfunctioned and Sons of Elijah's fiery coma inducing crash. He couldn't break the windows. Court records confirmed that Arenas, known for his flashy lifestyle both on and off the court, was arrested and is currently sitting in federal custody, according to reports. The games weren't small. Documents allege that Arenas even had a custom poker table with his name on it, which was reportedly used during the illegal matches. Hold on. I got to ask a question. Since when gambling in your house becomes legal? It becomes illegal. Since when gambling in your house becomes illegal? The arrest ties back to 2022 raids. Let's say it right. The arrest ties back to a 2022 raid at Arenas' home where federal agents and LAPD detectives say they caught around 26 players and 12 staff members on site. Evidence collected from that raid is now being used to support the case against the retired NBA baller and his crew. If you missed our coverage of other major athlete arrests this year, check it out here for more background on how legal troubles are shaking up the sports world. How the indictment came together. The indictment paints a picture of a highly organized gambling ring. Prosecutors say Arenas and his associates conspired to run these poker games for profit, violating multiple state and federal laws in the process. Pause. It is not illegal to gamble in your house. It is not illegal to gamble in your house. So what federal and state laws was it? I'm going to tell you. The IRS ain't getting a cut of it, and you ain't reporting it. Well, this case should be a knockout case. Because now you're using the alphabet boys to come lock me up in the privacy of my home. Now watch this. You can't lock me up for profit. And people like, ho, Dana, you about to go there. Oh, yeah, I'm about to go there. Listen to the words they're using. They said, prosecutors say Arenas and his associates conspired to run these poker games for profit. How? Thank you, April Cool. How? How did him and his associates run poker games for profit when there is no money in the United States? So what am I profiting? Monopoly money? IOUs, greenback, debt notes? That's impossible. So now you just violated my fourth right, my Fourth Amendment, my Sixth Amendment, my Eighth Amendment, my Ninth Amendment, and my 12th Amendment. The only way you get away with that is if I'm a 14th Amendment slave. So then it say violating multiple state and federal laws in the process. The federal government has been building the case for years, with evidence reportedly stemming from wiretaps. What did I tell you? Financial records. What did I tell you? And witness statements. One day, y'all gonna listen to Dana when he talk. One day, y'all gonna listen to Dana when he talk. One day, y'all gonna listen to Dana when he talk. Who was wearing wiretaps? Who was the booker? Hey, Miss Toy. Who was the booker? And witness statements. The only people that can get mad is people that lost money. Or should I say that lost currency? Because if you notice, they never said nothing about money in this statement. Coy said, I was just about to say that. The state has their own regulations. Facts. Court-appointed attorneys for Arenas refused to issue a comment before his first appearance before a federal magistrate judge on Wednesday. It's unclear at this point how Arenas plans to plead. You don't plead at all, Gilbert. You're a man. Men don't plead. Only 14th Amendment slaves plead. But the case could carry heavy penalties if prosecutors prove their allegations. The indictment alleges that the former NBA star wasn't just a bystander, but actively ran the operations with cash buy-ins. Hold on, wait. Why can't you say money? I dare you. Why don't y'all say money? And see, this is what killed me about the press. They know what to say and what to put out But we, the people, are so stuck on certain things. We'll say, money, he's a black person. He's a nigger. Come on, stop that. Let's get away from the dumb stuff and let's get away with the real stuff. Let's get to the real stuff. Get away from the dumb stuff and get to the real stuff. When you start waking up, people going to be like, he know who he is. We can't say that no more. You're right. You're right. So they said with cash buy-ins often totaling tens of thousands of dollars per game. That's a good way to put it. But you never said money. You said dollars or your next thing will be currency. Prosecutors always note that the games move locations frequently to avoid detection. But the Encino property owned by Arenas was a primary hub. Gilbert Arenas' legal future. Arenas is no stranger to controversy. From his infamous locker room gun incident during the NBA career to his outspoken personality, the 42-year-old has never shied away from the spotlight. But this latest development could be the most serious legal battle he's ever faced. And you know what? Gilbert have a right to face his accusers. So you're going to look up and see who your accusers are, Gilbert. I bet you somebody that lost big currency. Let's go. We're going to leave Gilbert and go to Uncle Shay Shay. Now, I'm going to get y'all input on this one. We're going to leave Gilbert and go to Uncle Shay Shay. NFL ESPN Let's Go of Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe after a lawsuit by ex-girlfriend over serious allegations. This came out 2 days ago. But the news about Shannon Sharpe has sent shockwaves through NFL fans and ESPN followers. After announcing a break in April 2025, Sharpe will not be returning the First Take. Confirmed by Variety. ESPN's decision comes after Sharpe settled a $50 million lawsuit filed by a Nevada woman who claimed the former player sexually assaulted her during a 2-year relationship. In a statement posted on X, Sharpe insisted the relationship was 100% consensual and labeled the accusations as false and disruptive. His attorney, Lenny J. Davis, described the lawsuit as a cynical attempt to extort millions from Sharpe. Despite these statements, the situation has left a mark on a former player's reputation who had gained popularity as a sports commentator. Of course he did, because he settled. I always say, do not settle with these people. I don't care what you got on you. You take it and put it out there. Hell with them, and then you go and countersue. The agreement between Sharpe's lawyer and the plaintiff, identified as Jane Doe, was reached after prolonged and respective negotiations. According to the woman's attorney, Tony Busby, that guy, although the terms of the settlement were not disclosed, the lawsuit was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it cannot be filed again. This outcome has left many wondering about Sharpe's future in sports media. Why are y'all wondering about that? Sharpe, who joined ESPN in 2023, had expanded his presence on First Take in 2024, appearing regularly on Mondays and Tuesdays. Additionally, he is known for his podcast Club Shay Shay, which is doing way better than ESPN First Take, where he shares his unique perspective on sports and life. His departure from ESPN marks the end of an era for the show, which will now have to find a new dynamic without one of its most charismatic voices. Now watch this. He's not worried about that. Yo, his midnight talk thing that he got going on with him and Ocho Cinco, and man, they not worried about that. They not worried about none of that, John. They not worried about none of that, John. And the reason why they ain't worried about it is because Club Shay Shay is doing better than First Take. Shay Shay made more money off of 2 interviews than First Take can pay him in 3 years. Uncle Shannon, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know, cause you settled that lawsuit, buddy. I don't know why, but you settled that lawsuit. I wouldn't have settled nothing. I would have took her to court. I would have sued her for all the underwear she ever could have bought. And I would have made her walk the streets butt ball naked for playing with my name. With the firepower you got, Shannon, you know better. And you see how it's overlapping your brother gold jacket ceremony. Some people look at that as being selfish. But I look at it as being just at the wrong place at the wrong time and liking the wrong people and making the wrong moves. That's all I say. Club Shay Shay. That's a hot podcast. You got to go forth with that now. Now you got to have more open interviews. But do you remember what Cat Williams told you? Cat Williams told you, he said, now, Shannon, you got me on Club Shay Shay. And he did like this. He said, you know what that mean, right? And Shannon said, what? You're next. They gonna come after you. And what did they do? They came right after you. As soon as Cat Williams got off that joint, what happened? They came after you. What is that saying for us? The colored folks, the indigenous folks. What is that saying? And as I look at the comments as they go up, it makes me think. Because what it say to me is that now more than anything, we need to stick together. We need colors. We need to get our own networks. We need to get our own NFL teams. Oh, I'm going to talk about that tomorrow too. Because what happened to Shador could happen to Ray Ray. Huh? Dion shouldn't be going to court about Shador. And let's keep it a buck. We are so conditioned to just take the bull crap that it took I can't say it because she a Buffalo fan. She loved Colorado, so I can't say it. But it took an old lady who's about to get up out of here to file a $100 million lawsuit and everybody else want to start talking about it. Where was y'all when Shador fell to the 5th round and Shador's better than every quarterback drafted this year and last year? Let's make it make sense. But once again, Shannon, you tap danced about that. And Dion is your friend, right? It makes me wonder, what is the true meaning of friends now? Because if anybody from the dream team that's my friend is going to war, guess what? I'm going to war with them. You don't got to question me, I'm coming. If Shank Rock going to war, I'm coming. Miss Parker or Toot go to war, I'm coming. Toy going to war, I'm coming. Niecy going to war, Leisha going to war, I'm coming. Tox going to war, I'm coming. Mama Mary, EJ, J-Rock, Willie, I'm coming. You don't got to second guess a real man. But you often got to second guess these bootleg gangsters and these certified niggas. Huh? And I ain't talking about Niggus. I'm talking about Niggers. Let's wake up. A lot of people don't want that truth. But Shay, you did this to yourself. I hope it get better for you, brother. I hope Club Shay take off to be the #1 podcast out there. Toy said, hold on. Shannon was hit with another $20 million lawsuit this week. He opened the door when he settled. He settled? Toy said he paid that bit, that he settled with the lawsuit more than him. Hold on, he said he paid that bit that he settled with the lawsuit more than him. Wow. Kojo Jones, what's going on? Thank you for joining. Over there on Twitch. Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Man, come on. Tap that screen on TikTok, man. Get me the 3K likes. Give me the 3,000 likes. Tap that screen on TikTok. Let's go. So, as I exit Shannon Sharpe, I'm trying to decide where I want to open the phone lines at, because I got nothing but hot grease coming from now on. I got nothing but hot grease. Said, read it right, bro. He said he paid that bit that he settled with lawsuit more than him. Okay. Let's go. There's something going on. Y'all know where this about to go at. I'm coming after you. We gonna talk about Rymier Satterwhite, the man claiming to be Jay-Z's son. He withdrew his most recent lawsuit against the rapper on July the 24th, but insists his quest for truth continues. Since 2010, Satterwhite has pursued legal action to prove Jay-Z is his biological father, alleging the mogul has avoided a paternity test and obstructed his efforts. Despite setbacks, he remains determined. As Hot New Hip Hop reports, in the July the 26th Instagram live stream, Satterwhite clarified his stance. I have not stopped my fight. I did withdraw my case, but it's for a reason. I have not gotten a settlement. It is not over. He emphasized ongoing behind-the-scenes efforts to resolve the matter, which began when he was 17 years old. Following his late mother Wanda's claim of a 1992 encounter with Jay-Z when she was 16. Satterwhite's legal saga has lingered in Jay-Z's public life for over a decade, recently gaining attention when Nicki Minaj referenced it amid her feud with Roc Nation. Jay-Z's legal team, in a statement 2 weeks before the lawsuit was dropped, denounced Satterwhite's claim as a decades-long harassment campaign and dismissed them as fabricated claims already rejected by courts. In a January 2025 Daily Mail interview, Satterwhite pleaded for resolution. My late mother Wanda was just 16 years old when she became pregnant with me, and for years I have sought clarity about my identity. He added, I really want to resolve this. I don't want any money. I just want the truth, urging Jay-Z for a DNA test. He said, this could all be done with one simple test. Satterwhite expressed frustration over Jay-Z's silence. Despite my efforts, Mr. Carter has never once written a letter to me to address these claims. He remains resolute, stating, I remain committed to seeking the truth and justice for myself, my mother, all those who deserve answers and accountability. With his mother's passing during the case, Satterwhite seeks closure for his family, including his 3 children, through a definitive answer. Ooh. Ooh. I got a question. Is it true that women know who they really have kids by and who they get pregnant by? I just want to know. I'm asking for a friend. Do women really know who they have kids by the moment they are conceived? I just want to know. Can somebody tell me if that's true or not? Can somebody tell me if that's true or not? That's all I want to know. Can somebody tell me if that's true or not? Do women know exactly who they have kids by when they conceive? That's all I want to know. Who? Let me see what y'all saying. Let me see what y'all saying over here before I go. Hey, Tiff, what's going on? Tiffany said, hey, Dana and the Dream Team. Hey, Mama Mary. What up, EJ? Miss Toy said, he is strategically shifting his approach to pursue the case differently. Facts. Facts. And you know what is coming out of that? April Marson said, I know exactly who I had kids with. Listen, I'm telling y'all now, not next week, but the week after next, I'm shifting my podcast. I'm shifting my lives to saving children and keeping children away from the real predators. So I'm going to be covering stories, not next week, but the week after. And I'm going to be having real life people on here tell their story of how friends, so-called friends, government officials, the court stole their kids and gave them to other people who are not worthy. I just wanted to drop that. I just want to drop that shameless plug. So get ready, not next week, but the week after that. Get ready. I'm giving you 5 days of hell. So get ready. If y'all not ready to have them conversations, don't jump in. Because we're going to talk about child support and we're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about women. We're going to talk about men. We're going to talk about kids. We're going to talk about courts. We're talking about all that. So, Gossip News said, yes, I know whose son daddy is. I know whose son daddy is. Okay. I know whose son daddy is. Okay. Tiffany said, as long as you with one man, you know it's from that one man. Interesting. Okay. Judah, only if it's with one man. Okay. Dana, I accept your challenge on that gym thing. I'm getting my Lux feel and it's on. Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm going to leave Rymier Satterwhite because he said he's strategically switching his stance and doing something different. I commend that brother for doing the right thing. But now I'm going to enter Diddy. I told you, it's only going to get big as we go. I'm going to enter Diddy, right? And people lie a lot. So let's listen to what this got to say, okay? Let's listen.
Holmes and his latest push to get out of jail. He's awaiting sentencing on prostitution-related convictions. His lawyers just filed a brand new motion for bond. So what's it mean? I sat down with his lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, to find out. With me now, Sean Combs' attorney, Mark Agnifilo. Mark, great to be with you. Thank you for being on the program today. And might I just say, I got to see you deliver the closing arguments in the case, and you were an outstanding advocate for Mr. Combs.
Oh, thank you very much. And thanks so much for having me.
You're very welcome. So let's get into this bail package that you have proposed. I read your motion and you talk about the exceptional facts of this case and how the way the Mann Act is being applied is kind of like one of a kind. Would you walk us through what you mean by that, please?
Sure. So the Mann Act was passed in 1910, and it's changed a few times through the years. But really what it's geared at, what it's focused on, is prosecuting people who make money from the business of prostitution. And that's not the allegation against Mr. Combs. The allegation of Mr. Combs, what the jury found, essentially was that he was a user of services provided by sex workers, essentially a John, for lack of a better word. And the Mann Act just historically hasn't been applied to Johns. It's a financial statute. It's really been applied at people who look to make money from prostitution. And so since that's not how it's being applied here, we made the argument that we have to, under the case law and the statutes in this area, that this is an exceptional reason and that Mr. Combs should be considered for release on bail because of it.
Pause. Did y'all just hear that? Now watch this. Didn't Dana say that in 2021 about R. Kelly? Word for word. In 2021, Dana said exactly that, word for word. There was no Johns in R. Kelly. Nobody made money from that. So how can you use the Mann Act? When I told Canick that, you know what was said to me? Nah, Dana, let a Canick be the lawyer, man. He the lawyer for a reason. So now you have a man that's more successful than Canick, and Agnifilo. He came and said what? 4 years later. The same thing I said. The Jack Johnson joint was used because somebody was making money. And I said, you can't use R. Kelly Enterprise as a way that R. Kelly is making money, because he don't run the enterprise. So if he don't run it, how can you have a one-man RICO? On top of that, how can it be the Mann Act when he's the only one that's performing? How can you perform and be a pervert at the same goddamn time? I said that. But you let dumbass mother come on YouTube and say, oh, Dana don't know what he's talking about. You let lawyers posing as lawyers get on here and say, oh, Dana don't know how to break it down. Dana don't know this. But whoa. Agnifilo, who got a bar license, who had a bar license for 14 years, came back and told you the same damn thing that Dana J said. My question is, I done had liars. I done had scandalous. As Sparkle would say, because Sparkle in the chat, I got to put it out there. Oh, baby, this is scandals and bullshit. I done had bull crappers. I done had scandals put on my name. I done had drunks and pill poppers and dope heads come out here and say scandalous things about me. But R. Kelly gets on the airwaves and say, my brother Bruce is scandaling and stealing from my fans. Not Dana J. So if I was doing anything negative in his name and diminishing his name, don't you think he would have took to the airwaves against me the same way he did Bruce? And that's his big brother. That's who he look up to. So it wouldn't have been nothing for R. Kelly to say nothing bad about me, but what? You can't find no fault in me. I'm sorry. Yes, you can. Dana, you've been calling females the B, the I, the T, the C, the H, the E, the S. Y'all know what that spelled. Only for YouTube purposes, I won't say it. But like I explained to everybody, you got 3 classes of women. 4. You got 4 classes of women. You got women. You got ladies. You got bitches. And you got them hoes. If you really want to get technical, them bitches ain't nothing but female dogs. But the reason why people won't call him a female dog is because it sounds too much like, oh no, he's a dog. That's supposed to be a man term. When technically it's a man and woman term. Let's make it make sense. So let's finish listening to Agnephilo. Because it seems like Dana was right again. Let's go.
Mark, I read in your motion, you say that Mr. Combs may very well be the only John sitting in a jail right now for his crimes. What makes you say that?
So we've done a nationwide survey of Mann Act cases, and we're not all the way finished, but we've looked at probably close to 100 cases. And we don't see any other case where a John, the user of prostitution services, is being prosecuted under the Mann Act. There are instances where the user of prostitution services has some kind of connection with the arranger, the organizer, the people who make the money from the prostitution services. But in terms of just being a straight user of services provided by a sex worker, we think he might be the only person in the country.
I thank you, Mr. Agnephilo. I thank you, because by you saying that, that clearly says that R.Kelly is not to be charged with the Mann Act because he's not a user. Nor was he a receiver. Nor was he a participant in the Mann Act. You can't say him flying women that he dealt with, that he was in relationships with, to come see his show. Oh no, we're going to give him the Mann Act, and because they had sex. What do you do with somebody that you're in a relationship with? I'm sorry. If I can't tap the water a little bit first, then I don't want none of it at all. What up, Prima? But what do you do? What do you do when you have a girlfriend over here? You got a girlfriend over there. You got a girlfriend over there. You got a girlfriend back here. And you just happen, I'm going to fly 2 of them in to come see me perform, stand at the stage. And when I get a little naked at the stage, they can rub on my legs. I got some familiar faces. And then at the end of the night, then I might make them go, ooh, ah. You know what I mean? I might make them, sound like they're in a zoo for a minute. Or I might make them, march to the marching band sound to a little bit. But how you going to give me the Mann Act because I'm dealing with my girlfriend? These are the questions that Kanik didn't answer. And nobody, I don't care how you look at it, nobody that sat with Kanik for the time that Rob was in New York have not asked none of the questions that they asked me. What do I see? And I told them what I saw. And I told them what questions to ask. I told them, make sure they shop. But you got people that will run around on the internet and parade a nigga. I'm going to say it because anybody can be a nigga. And a nigga is somebody that act irrational or stuck under pressure. Anytime people run around on the internet and parade a nigga that stood up there that's supposed to have been representing R. Kelly and stuttered for 34 goddamn minutes till the judge had to shut that person down and say, are you okay? and they start hyperventilating, you can't tell me that person is good for R. Kelly. So while you up here badgering Jennifer Bonjean, you need to badger that lawyer too. The same, matter of fact, and while you at it, while you badgering that lawyer, you need to badger the lawyer that said, well, jury, your honor, you must find my client guilty. But you're supposed to be the star. You was the prosecutor in Detroit for years. But behind everybody back, you up here trying to get an iota fund with the Scam Likely crew. Don't get me started, because I don't have no filter, and I will destroy all of y'all tonight. I got mother time today. Nick Cole was not fit for that arena. And I hate to say this, but I gotta agree with my enemy. I have to agree with Don Russell. So you know how that make me feel. I'm just saying. And don't nobody want to tell the truth no more. Everybody want to lie. You cannot get mad at somebody because they don't answer the phone for you. Or when you try to take over that person's mind, they shut you out and publicly tell you, chill, I'm good. Do I like the fact that R. Kelly is in a hole? No. So my question is, now watch how I flip this back. My question is, if they can't find no other John, then why was R. Kelly given the Mann Act? I'm going to play the rest of this, and I want y'all to hear this. I'll be back.
I certainly see what you're saying and can appreciate the legal argument you put forth in your motion for bail for Mr. Combs, Mark. And even if the judge agrees, let's say the judge agrees that this is an exceptional application of the Mann Act, and your client may be the only one who's jailed right now. You've cited every other case you can find. It's an ROR type bond situation. What about the other component that we know the judge is very concerned about, and that is your client's propensity for violence? Even you yourself acknowledge that in the closing arguments of the case with what happened to Cassie on the video that the world saw, and in the instances with Jane. How can you reconcile your position now in this motion for bail that he should be free and is not a danger to the public when we know these instances happened in the past?
So I think the key thing with what you said is that it happened in the past. I mean, the only instance that we have in recent memory was one, and the trial evidence showed this, where Jane essentially, started a fight with Mr. Combs, smashed his head against the counter, threw glasses at him. Jealousy was always a feature of their relationship, and Jane was jealous of his relationship with another woman. And so that was about 14 months ago that happened. But other than that, everything dates back, a number of years, 2018 and before. And as the point we made in the bail application as well is, Mr. Combs is seeking counseling, was seeking counseling for domestic violence before he was arrested. He was attending a program here in New York, and we really wish that he could have stayed in that program, but the federal government arrested him, and then he was in jail, and he couldn't continue with this very outstanding program, which I believe he'll come back to if he's released. And that's really, I started my career in the Manhattan DA's office. And I would see, all manner of domestic violence, and it's a very difficult crime for everyone involved. I mean, it's difficult, obviously, for the victim who has to live in fear from one of the people in her lives that she's the closest to or he's the closest to. But what I saw in the DA's office is that these were not resulting in lengthy prison sentences. These were resulting in appropriate, treatment programs, self-awareness, therapy, things like that. And I think this is what Mr. Combs needs rather than an extended time in prison.
Mark, my understanding is that Jane wrote him a letter to get into the batterers program before he was arrested for the instant case. Is that correct?
So they were in the process of writing a letter. So what happened with Mr. Combs, and this is because of his notoriety, and I think this is really unfortunate, is that I tried very hard to get him into a batterers program in April, April and May, before he got arrested. And I think because of his notoriety, a lot of these programs didn't want to take him. And so I think what was happening around the time of the incident that was testified to at the trial is that Jane was in fact helping him write a letter to get into one of these programs. And at the end of the day, he didn't get into the program that I think the letter was directed to, but we got him to another program, and he did start, therapy and counseling in that program, and did that for several weeks before he was arrested. So that's what your question is. The answer is yes, that is true.
And thank you for that, Mark. Is he availing himself of any programs now in the jail?
So the MDC doesn't have the programming that some other jails do, because it's not a final holding facility. It's really for people who are in a pretrial posture. So it's by its nature somewhat transient. So other prisons where people go to serve their sentences have much better programming, and so the programming at the MDC is not really that well established. That being said, we've cobbled together therapists and people who go in and speak with Mr. Combs, and he is availing himself of that.
When we come back after this break, we're going to turn our attention to sentencing. Currently, the date is set for October 3rd. Remember, Diddy was acquitted of the crime of racketeering conspiracy, acquitted of the sex trafficking offenses, convicted of transportation to commit prostitution. That carries a maximum allowable.
Wait a minute. Did I hear them say Jane wrote a letter for Diddy, but then took the stand and acting like a victim? Where did we see this at? Where did we see this at? Okay, let's finish.
Penalty of up to 10 years in prison. When we come back, I ask his attorney what he's hoping for in terms of a sentence and Diddy's plans after it's all said and done. We'll be right back.
Let me show you exactly.
Court TV. Should Sean Combs be sentenced to? And what are his plans when the time comes for him to be released eventually? My conversation with his lead defense attorney, Mark Agnifilo, continues. Mark, I want to talk to you about sentencing, please. Have your expectations with the federal government changed at all with Maureen Comey being let go from her position?
No, I thought Maureen Comey was an outstanding lawyer and is an outstanding lawyer, and I think will go on to have a terrific career regardless of where she is. I think it's a loss to the U.S. Attorney's Office, and it's unfortunate, in my view, what happened to her personally. I got to know her and all the members of the government trial team pretty well during the trial, and I have a great deal of respect for all of them, including Ms. Comey. But no, that's an outstanding office. The Southern District of New York has a deep bench, as they say. They're very good lawyers in the office and on this trial team. So I don't think the presentation of evidence or arguments will suffer, even though Maureen left.
Mark, it seems like Your team and the government are just miles apart on what kind of a sentence would be appropriate for Mr. Combs. What is your greatest hope, your most ideal hope for sentence for him?
So my hope obviously is that he gets out as soon as possible. We filed a bail application this morning, and my hope obviously is that the judge sees the wisdom in that and agrees with us. The government will oppose it, and the government will oppose it for reasons that they believe are sound. Now, in terms of sentencing, we believe that a sentence along the lines of time served is more than sufficient. If you look at what Johns are sentenced to, even if they're prosecuted in the first case in this country, no one's doing close to the time that Mr. Combs has done in jail. So I think we have to treat like cases alike, and I think he should be released in short order.
Mark, what are his hopes for his life? Because at some point this will all be said and done. We don't know what exactly the sentence will be that the court imposes, but after that, does he hope to return to music?
I don't know that he's thought that far ahead. The phrase he uses with me, and I can share it because he said that I could, is he says he feels he has more to give. And I think that's the focus. I think that he's spent a lot of time reflecting. He's a religious man. He's a man who has 7 children. He takes care of them, all of them. He takes care, one of the long-term relationships with whom he had 4 kids, has passed away, but the rest he takes good care of the women he's in a relationship with. He's really a very caring, dedicated person. And so I think he wants to emphasize that part of his life, come out of jail, spend some great time with his children, who he misses very much. They get to see their dad. And I think he's going to be happy in the short term, having the simpler pleasures in life, but I expect he's a genius in my view. And he has unparalleled talent and ambition and vision. And I would say vision is probably the most pronounced of all those things. And I expect big things out of him. But I think we need to let him have a little transition, have some downtime. I just spoke to him an hour ago. I said, I'm not going to rest until you feel the hot August sun on your neck. And have the simple things in life, and you can take it from there. And I think he sees the wisdom in that.
Mark, he really couldn't have a better advocate. I mean that sincerely, advocate to advocate. I was incredibly impressed with you and what I got to see and how passionately you've worked for him and his defense. One last question before I know we have to let you go. As you know, no cameras are allowed in federal court, and that's something I hope that changes one day. Tell me, if the public were able to have watched, do you think it would have perhaps changed any public opinions? In other words, is there anything you think the public might have missed in not being able to actually see the trial?
That's a great question. And it's such an interesting issue. I mean, there's something about federal court that's wonderfully traditional. They didn't have cameras in 1789 when the Southern District was created, and it hasn't changed. And there's so much about trying cases in federal court where things haven't changed. And there's so much about that that's wonderful. That all being said, I do think the public would have come to view Mr. Combs very differently than the way he was depicted in the tabloids and in these lawsuits, which lack merit. And I wish that they could have seen the evidence firsthand, the way the jury did. And one thing I want to throw out, not too much, but there's been a little second guessing I've seen of the jury verdict by some people in some publications. And this was an immensely dedicated jury. They were on time every day. They paid close attention. They all took notes. You can tell when a jury is really functioning at 100%, and this jury was. And I wish that everyone could have seen what the jury saw. I think that would have been very good for Mr. Combs and very appropriate for the world to have seen it with their own eyes. Mm-hmm.
Most definitely. And the respect you showed us in this interview, you're exuding for the other side. Everyone's just doing their job. The government did what they felt was best under the circumstances, following the law as they saw, and you all did your job advocating for your client. Mark Agnifilo, thank you so much for the conversation. I hope we can talk again sometime.
Thank you.
Well. Well. Where did we hear that at before? It goes back to say what I've said before. It pays to have somebody that knows the courts in New York. It pays to have somebody that knows the courts in New York. Somebody that fights in them federal courts. So when I seen the haters go at Doug Anton, you know what I said? It's not looking good. So they tried to compile it with Kanik. When Kanik said, I had a dream, I said, I got to follow this all the way through. But we done. Now, watch this. They never seen an R.Kelly tape of him abusing anybody. They watched a Damon Pryor tape that was circulated throughout the world and said it was R. Kelly. They scandalized R. Kelly name. I'm talking about the mainstream media. But why nobody have that same smoke with Diddy? Could it be that Diddy legal team are such dogs that nobody want to play with them? Or could it have been that R. Kelly's New York legal team was strategically put together to ensure that he gets time so everybody around can get paid? Remember, Don Russell told us, we a team. If one go down, we got to keep other people that's out there that can't go down, because we don't want to mess the operation up. Don went down, but watch this. The people that Don Russell named never went to jail until now. Don Russell out, Santee went to jail. But who's that third name that like a ghost just disappeared? With friends like that, you don't need enemies. Because if I have a friend that know I didn't do nothing and don't take the stand for me, nigga, we ain't friends. I don't care how much I want you to stay silent. No, you've been with me like that. Man, tell these folks what's really going on. And the letter that was submitted that Agnifilo was talking about is this letter right here. I have it. If you want it, email me. I'll send it to you. Matter of fact, I have all of the letters. Just showing you. I have all of the letters concerning Sean Combs. If you want them, just email me. I'll send them to you. I have all the letters, okay? One thing I don't do is gatekeep. I let it be known. I let them know what's going on. I share information. Now, this page right here is 62 pages. 62 pages. And that's what all of the defense team came up with in 62 pages. I have it all. Even on down to this one right here. I have it all. The 11-page joint. This is the other one that was submitted yesterday. You know, they talking about so many things. It's 11 pages. I'll send it to you. Also, the government response. The government response is 11 pages. And it's a whole bunch of lies in there. So this is the point that I want to get to. With all these lies put in there, right? Why are people saying that the judge denied his bail? This say respectfully submitted Jay Claxton, United States Attorney. This don't have nothing that say the judge did it. And it says conclusion, for the foregoing reasons, the defendant's motion should be denied. And when you look at it, it's to the Honorable Arian Submaranian, United States District Judge. But it was stamped by the judge that says by August 4th, 2025, the government should further explain the need for redactions here given the use of pseudonyms in the unredacted version of the letter. So ordered, Judge Submaranian. What up, T? Hey, Julie. Julie Parker, R.Kelly did have representation. That's what they called it. So I have it all. But since we on Kales, I got to ask a question. For the people that sat back and said, he did marry Aaliyiah, you don't know what you're talking about. Let me correct you real quick. They both are blurry. But I want you to understand that both copies are false. But it's of the same document. Why one copy is running off the page and the other copy is in the wrong font and the wrong, as well as the wrong indentation. This one is the wrong indentation and the wrong font. This one, the wrong font and running off the page. But everybody ran with he married Aaliyiah. Okay. So I guess you have to listen to what Aaliyiah say, right? Okay. So if we gonna listen to what Aaliyiah say, right? They asked Aaliyiah about her and R.Kelly relationship. And when asked about their relationship in a later interview with the Chicago Sun-Times via the Latin Times, Aaliyiah said, and what I'm going to do is I want y'all to see. Aaliyiah said, I don't really comment on that because I know that's not true. When people ask me, I tell them, hey, don't believe all that mess. We're close. And people took it the wrong way. Now, this is what Aaliyiah said. This is what Aaliyiah said. When asked about Aaliyah and R.Kelly relationship. In a later interview with the Chicago Sun-Times via the Latin Times, Aaliyah said, I don't really comment on that because I know that's not true. She telling y'all it wasn't a relationship. When people ask me, I tell them, hey, don't believe all that mess. Me and Rob are close. And people took it the wrong way. I'm just saying. You can't be close to nobody without smacking them now. That part, Lexington. Got some news said Aaliyah told MTV, us, R.Kelly are good friends. Yeah. So like I say, man, you gotta really, really understand that these people was really out to get Rob. And they fabricated a lot of stuff. And the stuff that was sent in to make sure he don't see a day wasn't even used. And it's sad. Because at the end of the day, where's Robert real friends at? Where's Robert real friends at? And on that note, let's break down this bull crap, the rise and fall of R. Kelly's empire. Let's break this down.
His image publicly may not be what the facts may show in a court of law.
Promise you, we're going to straighten all of this stuff out. That's all I can say right now. I promise you.
For years, speculation swirled. Whispers in the shadows. Rumors that refuse to fade.
Robert's problem, and this is a thing that goes back many years, is young girls. This was not a secret in November 2000. There were whispers throughout the music community, throughout Chicago.
So we're going to focus on the evidence. We're going to fight this case like we fight any other case in the courtroom based on the evidence.
All I can say is that I'm very confident that the court will afford a fair trial, both to Mr. Kelly and also to the persons who allege that they are victims.
The crimes laid before the court were among the most horrific, graphic, and deeply disturbing ever brought to trial.
There's been a lot of things going on in Mr. Kelly's life, and hopefully we'll get him out.
This trial was rigged in 2008. Make no mistake about it. This predator preyed on them repeatedly.
We need to realize that this person is a monster. Stop celebrating this music. Stop celebrating this man.
There's still time for justice for them.
And they're not alone. That's good. You're not alone.
In 2022, Robert Sylvester Kelly was sentenced to 30 years in prison. The once celebrated musician, who had spent decades evading justice, was finally held accountable for the pain he had inflicted on so many.
A predator who used his inner circle to ensnare underage girls and young men and women for decades in a sordid web of sexy girls and young men.
So now they're using Aaliyah, right? But what did Aaliyah just say? What did Aaliyah just say? See what I'm saying?
Men and women for decades in a sordid web of sex abuse, exploitation, and humiliation. To the victims in this case, your voices were heard and justice was finally served.
And remember what I told y'all about music. They put this type of music in here to captivate y'all, or to get y'all undivided attention, to make y'all believe that this is true. Let's go.
This is Pod 5, the first fully immersive sleep system. Intelligent, adaptive, effortless. It doesn't replace your bed, it transforms it.
Mr.
R.Kelly.
By the late 1990s, R. Kelly was more than just an R&B star. He was a cultural force. With 5 Grammy nominations and 3 wins, he had the world at his feet. And this was only the beginning. But Kelly's rise to fame wasn't instant, nor was it easy. Born in Chicago in 1967, he grew up without a father, raised by his single mother, Joanne Kelly. She led the choir at their Baptist church, where music was a source of comfort. Home, however, was a cramped, bare apartment in the Ida B. Wells public housing projects in Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood, a far cry from the luxury he would one day attain. Kelly's childhood was shaped by hardship and trauma. He later recalled that the women in his home acted differently when his mother and grandparents were away. From age 8 to 14, Kelly was exploited by an older female family member, and at age 10 by an older male who was a friend of the family. Kelly explained in his 2012 autobiography, Solar Coaster, that he was too afraid and too ashamed to tell anyone. At age 11, he was shot in the shoulder while riding his bike. The bullet, according to reports, remains lodged there to this day. Undiagnosed dyslexia made reading and writing a struggle, eventually leading him to drop out of high school. But music became his refuge. As a teenager, he performed on the streets of Chicago under the L train tracks, later forming a group called MGM with friends Mark McWilliams, Vincent Walker, and Sean Brooks. In 1990, they recorded a single, but soon after, Kelly left the group and signed with Jive Records. His solo career took off in 1993 with the release of 12 Play. The album produced his first #1 hit, Bump and Grind, which
Now pause. Remember what I told y'all when Jive was going after or beefing with another label that Ern Hall was on. And they made R. Kelly take Ern Hall's signature look and signature style. This was it. The bald head, the close shave, all that, the black glasses, that was Ern Hall style. So when I tell you that labels will make you do some things that even if you don't want to do, they will make you do some things. And this is the look that I've been talking about, y'all. But let's go.
Dominated the Billboard Hot R&B Singles chart for a record-breaking 12 weeks. 2 years later, his talent as a songwriter earned him his first Grammy nominations for writing and producing Michael Jackson's final #1 hit, You Are Not Alone. Album after album, hit after hit. His reign as the king of R&B was absolute. At least, that's what the world believed.
Weight loss by Hims includes personalized treatment plans with options like GLP-1 injections.
Please welcome Aaliyiah.
With the immense influence R. Kelly wielded in the music industry, it was only natural that he would take on a protege and the young artist who would come under his wing was a rising R&B star named Aaliyiah. Their connection began when Aaliyiah was just 12 years old. Her uncle, Barry Hankerson, introduced her to Kelly, believing he could be the mentor she needed to launch her career.
I tell y'all.
After gaining attention on Star Search, Aaliyiah signed with Jive Records,
Thank you
and
so
Kelly
much, bro.
became not just her
I
mentor,
appreciate you.
but the lead songwriter and producer of her debut album.
And Lavero come through with the 20-piece. She said, "Great live, Dana. Keep putting the truth out." Yes, ma'am. You know that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to go here. Jay-Z and Barry Hankerson all came together to unalive Aaliyiah for insurance money. Now, I talked about that the other day. Go look at that last live that I did before this one. You'll see it. Let's go.
Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. The album was a massive success, selling 3 million copies in the US and earning double platinum certification. But behind the music, something far more troubling was unfolding. On August 31st, 1994, Kelly, then 27 years old, secretly and illegally married his 15-year-old protege in a private ceremony.
Let's look at it. Hold on.
In Cook County, Illinois.
Let's look at it. Have anybody wondered why they only showed that part of the fake marriage certificate? Now watch this. Why on this marriage certificate it say the witness is David Orr? I thought David Orr was the county clerk and not the witness. I thought David Orr was the county clerk that signed off and not the witness. But y'all don't want the truth. Let's go.
Years later, rumors swirled that Aaliyiah had misled Kelly about her age, claiming to be 18. However, in 2019, a video surfaced of Kelly just a year before the marriage, admitting that he knew Aaliyiah was only 14. That same year, federal prosecutors in New York charged him with bribery.
That same year, federal prosecutors charged him with bribery. Now, hold on. How is it that he got charged in New York with bribery, but in Chicago, he was acquitted of all the bribery charges? How in New York he was charged with bribery? Stuff he knew nothing about. But in Chicago, it was proven to be not guilty. Julie Parker, you said David Orr testified that his signature was forged. Where did you hear that at? Now, I know I'm not crazy. I was in New York. And the person that testified in New York about the transcript and about the marriage certificate was a lady. It was a lady with like blonde hair, and she was like kind of short and kind of stocky. But I don't remember David Orr testifying. Because I was in New York. And that would have been the first thing that I ever said. Because that's who I wanted to testify. So David Orr ain't never testified in New York, Julie.
Alleging that he had paid for a fake ID so she could obtain a marriage license. In 2000,
Yes, it's in the trial transcript. No, David Orr was there. I was there, Julie. David Orr wasn't there. There was no David Orr there. And that was on one of the days that I was about to fight somebody. So yeah, I was there. Matter of fact, that's the same day that a certain content creator hit a head on a pew. That was a Wednesday.
2021, Kelly's lawyers admitted in court that he had engaged in underage sexual contact with Aaliyiah.
Like I said, and like Prima Donna said, ineffective counsel. Why would a lawyer say that? Not unless it's something they got to gain from him going to jail. Make it make sense. Let's go.
Tragically, Aaliyiah's story ended far too soon. On August 25, 2001, at just 22 years old, she died in a plane crash in the Bahamas. She had been poised for greatness, her influence already shaping the future of R&B. But that future was stolen from her, and the truth about her past with R. Kelly was only beginning to come to light.
Wow. So if our truth about if our true past about R. Kelly was coming to light, why would Jay-Z and Barry Hankerson unalive her then? Don't you think they would have wanted her to stay around to show the world that R. Kelly was such a monster if he really was a monster? Evidently, that was false, what you're reporting on this documentary. Let's go. Sparkle said they all lying. They all hiding.
I started Tai Chi at 50. Now I'm 68. And doctors...
Sparkle said they all hiding something.
As whispers of an illegal marriage to an underage girl swirled, R. Kelly's once glowing public image began to tarnish.
During his career, he generated $250 million in income for himself. He had money. He was a cash cow. They were not going to stop that income from being generated.
But for powerful men,
I'm gonna put something on the screen. Right. Julie said David Orr testified that his signature was forged. He never signed the marriage certificate. Get his transcript if you don't believe me. Okay. And then I'm going to scroll down. Prima Donna said, if he has testified his signature was forged, again, who was bribed if said documents were invalid by theory? Facts. So why is R. Kelly charged with bribery? Okay, let's use Julie Parker's rule of thumb. If David Orr actually testified, right? If David Orr testified, then what are we holding? Then what is R. Kelly being held for? What are we sitting back watching Kales in jail for if the man whose name is on there said he never signed it? Now, what's going to happen is, starting Monday, I'm going to read transcripts, all of them. And I have every last one from New York. But I don't have a David Orr. However, if David Orr testified his signature was forged, then what is Rob being charged for again? I'm texting a friend to see if I can get that Please do, Miss Julie. And trust and believe. Please get it to me. My email is bookdana, DANAJJAY @gmail.com. Let's finish this. And we ain't going to do all of this today because we're going to come back tomorrow for part 2. But let's finish this.
The threshold for true accountability is often impossibly high.
I was the pop music critic at the Chicago Sun-Times, and I had reviewed TP2.com the day that it came out and compared him to Marvin Gaye in terms of his genius as a songwriter and singer. And that prompted this anonymous fax saying, you compared Robert to Marvin. Well, Marvin had his problems, but they're not like Robert's. Robert's problem, and this is a thing that goes back many years, is young girls. This was...
Wow. So if Robert problem is young girls, then how can you explain Kitty? How can you explain Drea? How can you explain all of the older ones that he actually dealt with? Here's the problem that I'm having. Y'all trying to put a narrative out there that's not lucrative. Y'all want sugar honey iced tea to stick on a wall when there's nothing but and when there's nothing but watery doo-doo. It's not going to stick. It's going to run. Come on, man.
Not a secret. In November 2000, there were whispers throughout the music community throughout Chicago, the black communities of the South and West Sides, that Kelly would often cruise high schools and the Rock and Roll McDonald's and the Evergreen Plaza shopping mall. And there was the craziness with Aaliyiah. There was a marriage certificate printed in a national magazine here, Vibe, that said he'd married her when she was 18 and he was 27, except she was 15, and that was in all the press surrounding the debut album that he had written and produced for her, which he called Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
That's another lie. Aaliyiah titled the album Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. And it wasn't no legit marriage certificate, because that was supposed to be the album cover, but Barry Hankerson changed it from the marriage certificate to what you seen Aaliyiah with Rob in the background, shadowy out. Barry Hankerson kept the so-called bootleg marriage certificate for blackmail of Robert because he knew what? He knew that smart people, smart colored people is going to look at it and observe it and then cast judgment. But he knew black people and niggers was going to run with the whole topic that R.Kelly married an underage girl, so therefore he a pedophile. Let's call it like it is. Let's go.
First woman to come forward publicly was Tiffany Hawkins. In 1996, she filed a lawsuit against Kelly, alleging that he had sexually abused her over the course of a 3-year relationship. She stated in court documents that their sexual relationship began in 1991, when she was just 15 years old. Kelly, at the time, was 24. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, Hawkins initially sought $10 million in damages, but ultimately settled for a fraction of that amount in 1998. But she was not the last.
Hold on. You ain't going to do that. Tell about what happened, how she got that fraction. Because Robert didn't appear in court. He ain't know nothing about it. So she won by default judgment. But talk about when Robert sued her or countersued her for that. See, they don't want to talk about real documents. They don't want to talk about all the truth. So they run with one-sided situations and people take it and be like, oh my God, he is so bad. No. Where's the flip side of what happened with this?
In April 2002, Patrice Jones, a young woman from Chicago, sued Kelly, claiming that he had impregnated her while she was underage and then pressured her into having an abortion. Around the same time,
hold on. Patrice Jones, right? If that was the case, why was she so scared to testify? She would not look that man in the eyes. Why? Because it was a lie. Now we on the Montina Woods. Let's go. I want to hear this one.
Montina Woods also filed a lawsuit alleging that Kelly had secretly videotaped their sexual encounters without her knowledge or consent.
So this all go to Susan Loggins. Why didn't it go to the media during the time that it happened? Why did it go to Susan Loggins? Why didn't it go to the police? Why didn't it go to the courts? No, it went to Susan Loggins, though. Let's go.
Both cases were settled quietly, with undisclosed sums exchanged for strict non-disclosure agreements.
So are you going to tell who settled? Or is you going to try to make it continue? Or is you going to continue to make it seem like R.Kelly settled when Daryl McDavid and his lawyer is the one that settled? Are we going to do that?
While these lawsuits alone could have spelled disaster for any other artist, Kelly's career continued, but something even darker was about to surface.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store.
In February 2002, an unmarked videotape was anonymously delivered to the home of Chicago Sun-Times journalist Jim DeRogatis. What it allegedly contained was shocking. Footage of R. Kelly engaging in sexual acts with and urinating on an underage girl. The timing couldn't have been...
Pause. I have shown over and over that was Damon Pryor and Lisa Van Allen. So now you still going to run with this R. Kelly? Okay.
And worse for the singer. He was set to perform at the opening ceremony of the 2002 Winter Olympics when the story broke. Kelly vehemently denied being the man in the tape, but the scandal was too big to ignore.
Kelly did what? He vehemently denied being the man in the tape. I got every right to do... Hold on.
By June 2002, Kelly was indicted in Chicago on 21 counts of child pornography. That same month, he was arrested by Miami police at his Florida vacation home. He spent just one night in jail before posting a $750,000...
Pause. You said Kels vehemently denied being a man on the tape. The reason why he vehemently denied it, because the man on the tape was his body double, better known as Damon Pryor. Like I tell you, I don't got to lie about nothing. You see Damon name here? Damon, Lisa. This is how their daughter was created in this room right here. So when y'all sit back and talk about lies, man, understand the lies you tell may be the lies to get somebody booked. I told you I have it all. Let's get back to it.
$1,000 bond. Despite the gravity of the allegations, Kelly's legal team was able to stall proceedings for years.
Hold on. Sparkle said, is that supposed to be the tape that Wendy got from the Chicago person, old Laugh Out Loud, or Kevin Hunter and two others sat around and watched? Yeah. Yeah, Sparkle, that's the same one.
The alleged victim refused to testify, and in June 2008, a Chicago jury found him not guilty of all 14 counts of videotaping himself having sex with an underage.
They found him not guilty Not guilty. Let's go.
Girl. But the investigation didn't end there. While searching Kelly's Florida home, authorities discovered 12 images of an alleged underage girl stored on a digital camera, hidden inside a duffel bag. According to reports, the girl in the photographs appeared to be the same one from the now infamous videotape. Kelly was arrested again in January 2003 and charged with 12 counts of possessing child pornography. Hours later, he posted a $12,000 bond and walked free. In March 2004, these charges were dismissed due to a lack of probable cause for the search warrants. That same year, Kelly sat down for an explosive interview with ABC, defending himself against the mounting allegations. But the truth was becoming harder to ignore.
Do you think that it is immoral for an older man to have sex with an underage girl?
Rephrase the question.
For an older man to have sex with an underage girl, someone under 17, do you view that as an immoral thing, if they're in love?
If they're in love, I really can't be the judge of that.
Imagine being able to build the tool you need just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
On July 17, 2017, BuzzFeed News, July 17, 2017, July 17, 2017, BuzzFeed News, July 17th.
Pay attention to the headline. Parents told police their daughter is being held against her will in R. Kelly's cult. We know who this is, right? The Savages. And if y'all looked at the interview, when I asked the Savages a clear question, I asked Tim Savage 2 questions, and he gave 2 answers that exonerate R. Kelly. But everybody want to sweep over that. But let's finish.
2017, BuzzFeed News published an explosive article that sent shockwaves through the music industry. Titled Inside the Pied Piper of R&B's Cult, the piece, written by...
Hold on. We know who this is. Oh, boy. Okay.
Veteran journalist Jim DeRogatis detailed disturbing allegations against R. Kelly. According to the report, 3 sets of parents accused the singer of holding their daughters in what they described as an abusive cult. The accusations painted a chilling picture. Kelly, the article alleged, preyed on young women who sought his mentorship for their music careers. Once under his influence, he systematically took control of their lives, dictating everything from what they ate and wore to when they bathed and slept. The women were reportedly isolated from their families, stripped of their cell phones, and subjected to strict rules that prevented any contact with the outside world. But the most disturbing claims centered around Kelly's alleged sexual exploitation of the women. According to former employees and parents of the victims, Kelly would demand obedience, forcing the women into degrading acts, including group sex and humiliating rituals. Some claimed he even recorded these encounters and shared the footage with his inner circle. For many, these allegations were the final confirmation of long-standing suspicions. The parents of one of the victims described their daughter's transformation as brainwashing, comparing Kelly to a puppet master who had complete control over her mind and body.
Well, I have a question to those parents. Why your daughter ain't been home yet, and why she ain't even contacting y'all? It's been over 5 years. Why your daughter ain't been home yet? From 2019 to 2025, and she ain't talked to you yet. What's going on?
Yet, despite the damning claims, not everyone agreed. 2 women at the center of the controversy publicly denied being held against their will. They insisted that their relationship with Kelly was voluntary and that they were free to leave at any time. But as the media frenzy intensified, so did the scrutiny. The suspicions surrounding R.Kelly were no longer whispers in the background. They were about to be thrust into the glaring spotlight.
For $1 down, you could get a gaming laptop, PC, gaming console.
By 2018, the curtain was finally beginning to lift on the dark and disturbing allegations that had followed R. Kelly for decades. The hashtag Mute R. Kelly campaign was gaining momentum, pressuring RCA Records to sever ties with the singer. Activists targeted concert promoters, ticket sellers, and streaming services, calling for the industry to stop enabling him. The growing movement wasn't just affecting Kelly's career, it was dismantling his inner circle. His lawyer, publicist, and his personal assistant all resigned within months. Attorney Linda Mensch insisted her departure had nothing to do with the allegations, but the timing spoke volumes. Kelly, however...
But wait a minute. Are you going to speak about the way the government unalived Linda Mensch? Are you going to speak about that? When she departed, the government unalived her. Now watch this. If R. Kelly is a pedophile, why do she got a sign that say Black women's lives matter? But I thought they were young girls. Make this sugar honey iced tea make sense.
refused to back down. Dismissing the accusations as character assassination, he continued performing despite protests outside his shows. "It's too late," he told the crowd at one concert, seemingly unfazed by the growing outrage. On July 23, 2018, he took his defiance to SoundCloud, releasing a song titled "I Admit." In it, he railed against his critics, proclaiming, "Only God can mute me," and questioning, "Am I supposed to go to jail or lose my career because of your opinion?" But the tide was turning. The hashtag #MeToo movement was sweeping across social media, giving survivors of sexual abuse a platform to speak out against powerful men.
No, let's tell the truth. It wasn't a hashtag. It was Larry McGee and all his minions that was doing it on social media. Let's tell the truth.
What had begun as a response to the Harvey Weinstein scandal had transformed into a global reckoning, one that would soon put R. Kelly in the crosshairs like never before. It was this cultural shift that set the stage for Surviving R. Kelly, a 6-part documentary series that aired on Lifetime in January 2019.
I think that the Lifetime documentary certainly inspired and empowered many persons who allege that they are victims to feel that, knowing that there are others, that they could now come forward and speak and that they would have the confidence to do so.
I never thought I would see this day.
Mhm.
Many victims feel as though it's been a long time coming. We're seeing justice like every day. It's a new development, and I'm happy to see that all of us coming out wasn't in vain.
It's not too late for even more.
Now, what I will say is I want to see all of the so-called victims locked up. I want to see all of the liars in jail. I wanted to see even Gloria Allred in jail. I want all of Robert's funds to come back to him. And even though he's the type of person where he'll say, nah, man, let's not put him in jail, man. No, man, let's forget about it. No, lock their asses up.
Persons who believe they were victims of Mr. Kelly to come forward.
For Mr. Kelly's defense team to call victims who were all mostly underage remorseful groupies is the most desperate attempt to once again take responsibility off of a predator and throw it onto minors who could not legally consent to sex with Mr. Kelly. The responsibility fell and falls on Robert, the adult. So now we are calling underage child pornography victims remorseful groupies. This is the most insensitive.
Wait, how was y'all child pornography victims? There's no tape or nothing with underage minors. Hey, Lisette, where's your tape at? See how people just jump on a bandwagon and lie? You know, I do believe LaToya X exposed you, right? I think I need to go and find what she said about you and how you were saying, she's not one of us. She infiltrated us. I got to find that. If y'all have that, send it to me. But I'm going to look and see if I got it too.
Ridiculous attempt to save Mr. Kelly. It's too late. It just seems as though your time is up.
Pause. Why you look at Gloria Allred for the okay? So now we know you didn't write that. That's something Gloria Allred and her team wrote up. Let's get it correct.
All in all, this has been very emotionally challenging for me, but with the support from others like Gloria, I am starting to really see and know that there is a life for me after abuse.
Lizette Martinez, who is here with me today, is not one of those 5 victims.
So what is she there for? She's a potential witness to what? Man.
However, she is a potential witness. Lizette is a victim who told what she alleges about her victimization by Mr. Kelly in the Lifetime documentary, Surviving R.Kelly. She has reported what she alleges to law enforcement, and I'm very proud of her because it takes a great deal of courage to recall what was and is a very painful experience in her life.
The series featured firsthand accounts from survivors, journalists, and former associates, painting a damning picture of the abuse allegations against Kelly. Within days of its release, Kelly fought back. He launched a Facebook page in an attempt to discredit the women who had...
He didn't do that! Oh my God, 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 oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So now you putting Don Russell woes on R. Kelly. I ain't gonna lie. Lisa is kind of thick up there, but I wouldn't touch that demon and that snake with a 10-foot pole.
Spoken out, but the platform swiftly shut it down for violating its policies.
Oh my God. Look at the penguin. Jay-Z, you'll mess with anybody. I know you was knocking down that cow. Oh, this is a scandal.
It contained personal details of his accusers. As public scrutiny reached new heights, Kelly made a desperate attempt to defend himself in what would become one of the most infamous interviews of all time. Sitting down with CBS This Morning's Gayle King, he exploded into a frantic meltdown, shouting, crying, and pleading with the audience to believe in his innocence.
Quit playing. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You killing me, man.
But if Kelly thought his performance would sway public opinion, he was wrong.
No, he wasn't. And it wasn't a performance. That man was speaking out of pain. And for you to sit there and say he was wrong for trying to sway public opinion. No, he was speaking out of pain. And it's niggas like this person that's doing a narrative that sat back and uphold, but that goddamn Noose dude, the one out of Chicago, but y'all try to crucify a man, but that did nothing wrong, and all these hoes want is his money. Come on.
The outcry only grew louder. A year later, in January 2020, Lifetime followed up with Surviving R.Kelly, Part 2.
They go KRS-One's sister. Now, I don't know who Connie Chung is, and I definitely don't know who the mad scientist is. But one thing I sat back and noticed, every time Rob had something serious going on about to happen, they always brought out another part of Surviving R. Kelly. That was strategic. I will give Jay-Z that. And I'm not saying allegedly. I will give Jay-Z that. He strategically had Dream Hampton release different parts of Surviving R. Kelly whenever Rob had to go to court or something that came up.
Reckoning, a second season that delved even deeper into the scandal.
Even when your room is 80 degrees, your bed can be 55. That's the Pod, a cooling cover.
By then, the world had changed.
Oh, don't pay this picture no attention. There's nothing to see here. Just one of the pictures that made everybody mad. But wait, is this the jacket that they claim R. Kelly gave me? I do believe that's my suit jacket, right? Now, let's tell some truth. I see and I know where the lie come from. Because now the lie going around saying, oh, yeah, R. Kelly gave Dana his jacket because he had a shirt on and this and this. Listen, you can't cover up a person that was told the lie just to see if the lie was going to spread. Now I'm going to put it out there. I'm the one that told Scam Likely that Rob gave me his jacket because I didn't have another jacket. Because I didn't have a jacket to put on. And the shirt that I had and was inappropriate. And it spread it like a wildfire. But technically, here's the truth. That was my jacket. And I knew people were so desperate for dumb shit that I knew that they would put that lie out there. And until this day, you see other people, like people that want to smoke cigars and buy liquor and say they put it in their face. No, I'm going to put it in your motherfucking face, nigga. That's my jacket. I have the suit in my closet along with like 12 others. And that was just for that year. Let's not talk about the suits I gave away to help people that didn't have a suit. But that's my shit. I don't wear other people's clothes. I can't fit Rob's suit jacket, fool. Let's go.
R. Kelly's reign as the self-proclaimed king of R&B was over. The movement to hold him accountable was now in.
Oh, it's nothing to see there, but that guy with the gray, we don't know who that is. Don't worry about it.
Unstoppable.
I feel ashamed that it took the docuseries for me to wake up, but as a black woman, I would be, I don't even know.
Kendra should have got a Grammy for this. An Oscar. And this is why I don't pay Kendra no attention. Because it shouldn't have took a documentary for me to see this Stop it. You live in Chicago. You heard the lies. You knew they were nothing but lies, but you waited until he went away to say, I shouldn't have seen the documentary. Stop it. That's why I say a lot of y'all Chicago motherfuckers are fake and phony. A lot of y'all in Chicago don't give a hell about Robert. But it's packs of people that do. But a lot of y'all believe anything y'all hear and y'all hate Robert. That's why I hope he never go back to Chicago.
I felt terrible. Like I watched that docuseries and wanted to throw up. I felt terrible. I have sang with this man. I have taken photos with this man. Shame on me for taking this long to be awake, but I am awake.
As a super fan, I'm still like torn. It's like, do I still listen to his music or do I come out here and support my sisters because what he was doing was just not right? And I look at him and I don't know what to think. And it's just really hard, but I'm here to support my sisters as a super fan of R.Kelly, who's been to every concert, has all of his music, but at some point it has to stop. There's 100% truth to what's going on. And again, as
Really? Is 100% truth?
a super fan, it has to stop here. And that's why I'm out here today.
People have associated his music with such good memories in their lives for so long that it's a soundtrack to so many people's lives, especially in the city of Chicago. And so it's hard for people to compartmentalize a monster from a memory. And we need to realize that this person is a monster and stop celebrating this music, stop celebrating this man because...
Wait a minute. If he a monster, now here's where I get these people at. If he a monster and you want him to stop celebrating his music, stop celebrating everything, right? Why didn't y'all mute everybody that he wrote for? Why didn't y'all mute everybody that he voted for? Watch this. While y'all fake muted him, why was y'all low-key still playing Bump and Grind, 12 Play, Honey Love, everything else under the sun? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. It kills me how y'all folks... Dana, shut up.
He is what he is. He is not what you hear every day. He is not the person at your picnic. He is not the person that should be playing in your church at your birthdays, at your kids' birthdays. It's hard to separate, I think, for some people, those memories and really realize that this man is a monster and needs to be brought to justice.
I know what's going on. If these girls and women was trapped, R.Kelly would have let them go. My brother's not going down for this crap, okay? And that's about it. I appreciate it.
When women call him a monster, what do you say?
He's not a monster. He's a human being just like us. He's not a monster at all. A monster is when you doing crazy crap, crazy things, okay?
You deserve great health care. That's why we created Weight Loss by Hims. 100% online.
That's a monster.
48 women cannot be lying.
48 women cannot be lying. Shit. If you promising everything under the sun from Section 8, unlimited Section 8 to unlimited EBT to $20 million, nigga, I can get 4,000 women that'll lie. My question is, why your slave trade ass didn't want to testify? That's what I want to know. Why was you so scared to testify? Because you was reporting hearsay, which shouldn't be admissible in court.
Women that I've talked to for 19 years of reporting across the country, separated by decades, telling the same story, who have never met each other, cannot all be lying. The 26-minute, 39-second videotape.
Let's back something up.
The 26-minute, 39-second videotape
Well, I'll be damned. Dennis Byron, R.Kelly, Don Russell, Joycelyn.
for which he was indicted in
Dennis Byron, Don Russell, Joycelyn, R.Kelly. One of Don Russell workers. Oh, go ahead, Dennis.
2002 on 21 counts of making child pornography. His money enabled him to delay the start of that trial for 6 years. And yes, he was acquitted, but the jurors who saw that video were horrified. It is the most disgusting and horrible thing I've ever seen in my life. But in America today, even after Mute R.Kelly, after Time's Up, at the Me Too moment, we still are not understanding that 30 years of crimes, because the first 15-year-old girl who he initiates sexual contact with, who tries to kill herself after that ends 3 years later, that was 1991. But this idea of a cult and brainwashing, it is being investigated by the FBI, the IRS, and the Department of Homeland Security, which is in charge of sex.
Watch this. Why would the IRS be investigating? Listen, why would the IRS be investigating sex crimes? This is what I mean when I say people are so smart, they stupid. This is not about no sex crimes. This is about money, currency. Why would the IRS, the Internal Revenue Services, be investigating sex crimes? Can somebody explain that to me? Julie Parker said David Orr publicly stated that his signature was forged and that he did not issue the certificate. Julie, can you get me that statement by David Orr, please? Because I knew he wasn't at court. I knew that. But can you get me that statement at court? I need it ASAP. I need that ASAP. If you can get me that, Julie, thank you. Can somebody put my email in the chat for Julie Parker, please? Can somebody put my email in the chat for Miss Julie Parker, please? But why would the IRS be investigating sex crimes? Thank you, Willie.
Trafficking in the United States. The federal indictments are being prepared, a grand jury is sitting, and those federal charges are coming down within a month.
How do you know that, though, Jim? How do you know that? Julie's wait a minute, Julie, what I do? Hold on, wait a minute. Julie Parker said, or said it's a phony marriage license that never should have been issued. Somebody fabricated the certificate. I owe Dana a 20-piece. Thank you so much. But I need you to get me that because I need that ASAP. They definitely didn't. Why they didn't mute Diddy? They definitely didn't do that. Shorty said, Dana, why you didn't speak on the part about the young girl who tried to unalive herself? Because that's the first time I heard about that. I'm going to be honest, Shorty. That's the first time that I heard about that. So, am I somebody lying? But what I'm going to do is this right here, right? I'm going to pause that right there until tomorrow. But I'm going to open up these phone lines, baby. I'm going to open up these phone lines. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up these phone lines. If you want to holler at me about what y'all saw so far, y'all go ahead and hit me up at 404-914-7986. If y'all 914, hold on, what? 7986. If y'all 914, hold on, what? 7986. Okay. If y'all 914, hold on, what? 7986. Okay. If y'all 914, hold on, what? What? If y'all want to hit me up, hit me at 404-914-7986. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about what y'all heard so far and what y'all saw. I want to hear from y'all. J-Rock, I told you that's the first time that I ever heard that. Tiffany have never said that. Never said that. But now you hear something new every day. Call in 404-914-7986. One caller at a time. When somebody get up here, y'all just respectfully wait for them to hang up and then call in. 404-914-7986. Yeah. They just said Tiffany Hawkins just tried to unalive herself. You get more and more fake stories being told every day. I'm 2 hours and 30 minutes in. I'm over by 30 minutes. So what I'm about to do, I'm about to go on and end this thing. And tomorrow, we going to finish up. I can't believe I heard them say Tiffany Hawkins was about to unalive herself. But I'm going to leave y'all with this. Check this out.
Hey, look, there's a position that could be open.
Okay, wait a minute. You know what? Wait a minute. Because Tears, I wish she could get up here. I really do. Tears, let me explain something to you, Mama. You think you know what's going on? Because I can tell, like, you are speaking with such conviction, but you just have inaccurate information. Yeah, trust me. I saw the Rogers Lifetime interview. I was contacted by Lifetime. I was actually supposed to be on the second part of Lifetime. I still have that contract. They had to let me know what was being said. I also have an entire recording, and I guess people think I really don't have this recording because it hasn't been released yet, but I actually have an entire recording of the dinner with the Rogers and Summer Bunny, who was present, and my colleague from the magazine, who was also present, because it wasn't just me, Kelly, Faith, and my cousin. There were also other individuals who were present. And in that conversation, the conversation is an hour and 30 minutes long. You will hear no threats. You will hear laughter. You will hear food being ordered. I paid for Kelly's dinner, not because she didn't have the money, but I just paid for it because, you know, we met up quickly. So she left her wallet
You're
at the
being a
hotel or
host.
whatever.
Okay.
And another thing about that night that people have confused, because I saw a lot of this with Dawn, I never made it to the screening. So let's be clear. Was I talking to Dawn, you know, days leading up to the screening and stuff like that? Yes. Was I trying to get in good on that side? Yes. But the first night, with the dinner and all of that, did they actually have a dinner Lifetime? Yes, they did. Jonjolin wanted me to be there, but I was still in Miami. So while Don is thinking that I'm in New York and, oh my God, I was supposed to be at this dinner, but they won't let us in. And he's like, okay, well, stay away if you're not supposed to be in. I wasn't even in New York. I was in Miami. The feds know that. I was not there.
Mm.
The next day, I'm giving him a play-by-play of stuff I'm not even present for. I'm literally like getting off the plane like, oh yeah, you know, we're doing interviews right now. Da da da. If you hear me calling you Rick, then you know.
Right, because they had conversations,
right,
text messages between you guys and stuff. Right.
Right. But see, the feds know I was never there. So there is no way that I could have really been in it with him because I wasn't there. Like when we got
So
there.
in other words, you're saying that Don used you to kind of cover up his tracks.
Well, I would really say that Don got played because he thought he had a partner in me, I guess you would say, but I'm a journalist. First of all,
Right,
I'm
you
not
have an
committing
oath.
any
That's
crimes.
another thing. You have an oath that you took, right, as a journalist. And you have to go by code and ethics. Am I correct?
Yeah, but I didn't.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why a lot of people that do know what your profession is are confused as to what happened. Why is it that you were able to be the face of R.Kelly and people are throwing you in the mix of the thing because allegedly you had to deal with some type of form of intimidation towards witnesses?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But Kelly, I understand that you have to keep up your act because you went as far as telling the feds this story. It was already messed up when you went on Lifetime. And I'm saying this respectfully. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but it was already messed up enough when you went on Lifetime and you told this story. The only reason they didn't use my name is because I threatened to sue them. I still have the conversations and recordings when I was talking to producers and they knew that the story was not real because I had to let them know that there was no gun. I had to let them know that the story was not real. That was the reason why my name was not used. The night that it aired on Lifetime, I contacted the producers. I still have those messages when I was like, y'all are total scum because you know the truth, yet you still let them go on national TV and tell this lie. Their explanation, oh, Cash, we tried to get you to come on and tell your side. And I'm like, why would I have to come on and tell my side to something that's not true and you know it's not true? But they wanted the juice. They wanted those stories, period.
So that's, oh boy.
And I'm not snitching on myself because I didn't do anything. So there's nothing to snitch on.
Right, right. Mama Rogers.
And when I interviewed with Larry, I don't know if y'all remember that, he took it down because Larry tried to cut me off before I got to that point. And this was years ago, before that drop. I'm pretty sure y'all remember when I got upset and I said, you lied to Lifetime on me. And she was in the chat and said, how would you know what I said to Lifetime in my interview?
Mm.
And it's okay because the recording is going to come out publicly. So everybody is going to hear on a large platform what took place.
Do you still have your podcast, Trapped in the Saga?
None of that stuff was ever real.
Wow.
See, this is why I'm saying when the story comes out, you'll see what was what, but none of that stuff was ever going to be a real podcast. Certain things were done because of certain people I was dealing with behind the scenes and what they thought.
And what about the other book that you have that was supposed to be out?
What up,
I
Ms.
forgot
Bougie?
the title of it.
I am coming out with a book, but you know, those books, they were all dummies. It was all stuff just to throw people off. Or when you're dealing with people behind the scenes and people think that you're a part of
who are involved, who are speaking their truths but they're only saying half truths because somehow, some way, they have to protect something.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. For me, like, I'm admitting.
So with that being said, I wonder why they was protecting Larry and his lies. Because Larry lies came from somewhere else. And that somewhere else came from somewhere else. So once again, Dana wins. Dana was telling the truth. I tried to tell y'all, but nobody wanted to listen. Okay.
My faults. Like, when you do see what does come out, I'm going to be 100% transparent about every mistake I made, what I did do versus what I didn't do.
Right.
And you can keep saying I covered my ass so that I didn't get arrested, but you can't cover anything from the federal government. This is not the state police. This is not the county police. These are the feds.
Yeah.
So I would be arrested had I done the things that have been said.
So have you ever apologized to the Rogers as far as
for
your
what?
involvement?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought about apologizing to the Savages.
Okay.
But when it came down to the Rogers, like I said, I had respect for them. But once the situation happened where there were things that weren't true that were said about me, it made me feel away, as it would make anybody feel away. It would make anybody feel away. I had the utmost respect for Kelly and Faith. And when I sat at that table, she cannot say that I did not say to Faith, like, you're young, you're beautiful, you're this.
Right.
Faith was upset. Faith was going through the motions. Hell, a gun threat had just been called in. So Faith didn't even stay at the table as long as me and Kelly and the others did or whatnot.
Right.
But,
Well, Mama Rogers just said that you have her number and that you're free to call her. If you guys, want to like hash that shit out behind the scenes. I mean,
Call her
I
for
just
what?
feel one
Fuck
adult
them.
to another that this whole thing
just
with
got
R.Kelly has ruined a lot of lives. Yes, exactly what you said there. It's got out of hand, and people's lives are ruined behind sticking up for this man who people really don't know.
Oh, and
but
I'm
they
not ignoring
idolize
the car.
him.
Wait a minute. I'm not ignoring the
So hold on. So you saying that you know him? Ooh, this is crazy.
car. It's just a lot to unpack. But when it comes down to the car, no, I didn't send anybody. Like, did he go? Yeah, he went, and whatever happened, happened.
Wasn't there, so was he there or was he not there? Because
Wait, was who there?
Stories. This is a problem here because there's reports saying that the cousin wasn't there, and then now it's reports that he was there.
Wait, he was where? He was where?
He was there at the restaurant with the gun?
Yeah, okay, let's be clear about this. We never made it to the screening. I was already running late. So by the time that we were about to hit the corner to park, Jongelyn was already calling me and saying, it's over. Somebody called in. I don't know if it was a gun or a bomb, but somebody called in a threat. So she's like, just come to the hotel. Everybody's going to the hotel. So that's how I ended up with them. I never actually made it to the screening.
Okay. So
none of us did.
Let's talk about that screening because the court documents also have your name, Cavante Jones, in those text messages with Don Russell.
Right.
Maybe she wasn't on when I said this earlier. When I was texting Don,
I was here.
I was not where I said I was. And the feds know that. So when I was telling Don, oh yeah, I'm here, I was still in Miami. When I eventually got to the hotel and stuff, we're at the hotel. We're not at the screening. And Jongelyn knows that we never made it to the screening.
I'm talking to you about your name being mentioned that you exchanged text messages.
Right. I'm not denying the text love. What I'm telling you is Don was being played. He thought I was at the screening. I was never at the screening.
Oh, so she
The
was
places
saying she
that
played him.
The places he thought I wasn't. He thought I was in New York a whole day before I ever even made it to New York.
See, yes, what will be the purpose of doing all of that? You want to play him, say that you in Miami. I mean, you're not in New York, you're in Miami. Like,
well, because the point was we were trying to get close to the camp. Right. So they're not going to just let you in the camp, period. Now, was it messy? Yes, it was messy. But the point is, if somebody, you know, feels like you're helpful or they feel like you're doing this or you're doing that, then it's like, okay, I could fuck with this person because she helping me out, she doing whatever. So yeah, I think she's solid. Like, I mean, that's just what it was. That's what it was.
I can't. This is sad. This is actually sad. It's kind of.
I mean, it could be sad, but it's the reality of what happened.
Crazy.
It's no different than an undercover agent. Tears really think. I'm sorry. It's really sad how inaccurate she is. Actually, Tears, how about this? I found out that there was another person who was actually present with my cousin when this took place. And I found that out, of course, through the lawyers and everything when he was going through what he was going through. And I had the opportunity to speak with that person. Actually, Angelo shot at my cousin and this person, and then they lied to the police and told the police they were shot at. So, you know, I mean, wow. It depends on how much information.
So hold on. If it was, now it's starting to make sense. If it was another person that was with your cousin, it makes sense why that happened. And then right after that happened, they appeared at Keith's house. So Keith had to have been the other person with your cousin. After Scam likely gave them the address. Now that makes sense. Jesus Christ. Dana.
Didn't pay for Facebook, so the world can protect you. Nobody that's on you, please.
Mama, you went on mute.
This has been over 3 years, so sometimes people forget things.
Right.
I came downstairs after all the commotion. You were downstairs. Do you recall me and you asked me to walk over here to the side? And me
What I recall is me sitting down on the couch with Jory because Tim went upstairs to see what was going on with Jongelyn. And also, let's not forget, my colleague from the magazine was also present. And you walked up and you said, "Hey, Cash." And I said, "Hey, Kelly." And you said, "How did you know it was me?" Because we had never met in person. And I said, "Well, I've seen your pictures before."
Tell the truth.
I am telling the truth. I mean, you keep forgetting, Kelly, that there were other people present. Summer Bunny was present. My colleague from the magazine was present. There were other people present that can attest to what took place. So Kelly, I had the utmost respect for you. When you sat down and you talked to me at that table and you put me up on game.
Wait. One at a time.
Go ahead.
You said you had the utmost respect. First of all, you don't know of me to respect me.
The way you approached the situation initially, I did have respect for you. And I thought that you were good, wholesome people. So I had no reason to not respect you or hold you to a high regard.
For me or my family, we are very good, wholesome people.
Right. So I had no reason to not hold you to a high regard.
What I'm saying to you today, when I originally met you, yes, Jongelyn added you to the call and told me you were their publicist. That is true. That's true. The part that you're saying where Tim came down and said,
I got one question. Why is Jongelyn in all of the problem? She remind me of Scam Likely. She always in the ketchup. She's the problem.
I know he was very abrupt with you, or I know who you are, or but you know, as I look back, it was all part of the game. They knew who you were. They knew why you were there. We didn't know why you were there.
I was there because I was invited there by the Savages. Otherwise, I would not have been there.
If you let me finish, man, I'm going to get to that.
Go ahead.
I'm going to get to that.
Thank you, Cash.
No, I didn't know I didn't know how you got there. But later on, I found out how you got there. Because you were invited. Yes, You were invited by the people you were representing. Yes, that's true. That part is true. But all of this, you know nothing about the Rogers, and I don't care what
Not
you
trying
hear
to.
in this street, but I'm asking you, please keep us out of your conversation.
Okay, well,
let me finish, and then I might decide whether I want to hear anything any further. I don't know you. We sat at that table. You said what you said. Faith said what she had to say, and Faith got on. See, this is a joke to y'all because after Faith left there, my child could have lost her life because you people continually threaten, harm, talk about.
Kelly, no threats were made at that table. And when this recording comes out on the platform it's coming out on, you're
But
making
she
a
didn't
fool
say
out of
the
yourself.
table. She didn't say at the table.
I've never threatened Faith. So when you saying you people, you're addressing me. I've never threatened Faith.
No, you have not. You did not.
She said people.
I said people. I'm talking in general. All this. This is.
So why Diva is defending Kelly Rogers? I'm not understanding this. Let's go.
This is a mess behind a man that half of you know. And I could care less about how you knew him, how you met him, when you was in the elevator taking pictures for the Savages.
Exactly.
What floor you were on.
Exactly.
You know, I could care less about that. My concern is faith.
Right.
Anything, and I can recall you telling me how Julius Darrington told you. Do you remember our very first conversation? How you were telling me Julius Darrington called my daughter the whatever he called her. That was me and your first conversation, and me and your last conversation until we met each other at the hotel.
True.
And we ain't had a conversation since. But I'm asking you today, keep me out of your conversation, because what goes on with the Rogers, first of all, you ain't being paid for discussing me. Or my child, my daughter.
Right.
She don't deal with you. Nobody that's on YouTube. She doesn't discuss art. The whole 3 years. Have you seen my daughter? Oh, because I know you people post anything in regards to R.Kelly? No, because she's trying to put that part of her life behind her.
Right.
The people in this YouTube world continue to bully, try to continue to intimidate her, and I'm not concerned.
I have nothing to do with
say
that.
what you want about me because you don't know me. You met me at one time in a situation, and yes, whether you saw it or not, whoever the gentleman, your bodyguard.
My cousin did not have a gun, Miss Rogers. Period.
Okay.
He did not have a gun. He's not allowed to have a gun. He couldn't get through the airport with a gun. We had no reason.
It wasn't a gun. Maybe it wasn't, but whatever he had in his side pocket, on his belt loop, that's what it appeared to be to me. And you did not see it because you were already sitting down at the table with whoever.
So wait a minute. Wait. So now the truth's starting to come out. So Michael ain't have a gun or whatever his name is, but because Kelly Rogers said it appears to be a gun to her, it had to be a gun. Bitch, you crazy. You are crazy. Just because you thought it was a gun or you wanted to be a gun, it don't have to be a gun. It could have been something else. You are crazy.
Your other publicist friend was, and Summer and Faith. So.
Okay, but I also did not say that if you don't do something, that this is going to happen. When you make comments like that, this is why I'm speaking on you, because you put me in a situation.
You did make the comments. Think back.
I have the recording. I don't have to think back. I can listen to it every day. What is it that you're saying I said?
So, but I'm telling you, when you decide because you recorded me illegally.
No, I didn't. And New York is a one-way state. It's a one-way consent state. There was no illegal recording.
And I'm sure you're taping this right now. I don't care if
it's on YouTube Live. I don't have to record this. It's being recorded.
Two-way, three-way, four-way, whatever way. I'm telling you, Mrs. Jones, you know nothing about the Rogers.
I don't want to know anything about you. What I do know about you is you went on national TV.
Okay. Write your books. Make your paper. You're a very good writer. Do what you gotta do to put money in your pocket, but please don't include us. You're as I should be a non-factor to you. You're clearly that to me. So stop talking about the Rogers, okay? I can stand up for my family because I know what we are, and I know who we are, and I know whose we are. But some people choose to assume, they and to make the record clear for all of y'all, whoever you are talking about, we want money, we want this, honey, we work for everything we have, and thank God He has blessed us enough to work. R.Kelly didn't pay for Facebook, so the world can quit saying that. He has not paid for anything for my child. Her parents take care of her and all their children.
Pause. That kills the man act. If R. Kelly ain't paid for nothing for her and her children, if the Rogers paid for it, then that means that R. Kelly didn't fly her to New York or to L.A. That kills the man act. God damn, Dana, why you ain't been played this? You had this shit for a while.
And we're not looking for a church. We've been a church since 1995.
Amen.
So that's the other lie people can stop putting out there. I'm in search of peace for my child.
Right.
But she can't get it because it's people like you and some others that continually choose to have her name or her parents' name in their mouth. And if the shoes were reversed, I don't think if you had some children or a daughter that has gone through everything that you have watched behind the scenes and are very aware of, and you still choose to make money off of it, it says a lot about you as a young lady. Because a dime representing and talking about R. Kelly, I wouldn't want that dirty money in my pocket. But I'm asking you today, Miss Jones, please keep me out of your conversations. I'm not discussing you. And if you want to be as intelligent as you are, you have my phone number. And if it's something you'd like to discuss with me, call me. You have my number. Because I don't know you to have something again. I'm not mad at you for what went on in New York.
I'm going to let her speak.
We're upset because of the conversation with Tim and what I said, or then y'all just flat out lied. I mean, it's one or the other because you made it like I blackmailed you. I did not blackmail you. That was never my energy whatsoever at all. That was never my energy.
I made you feel that way. I don't know.
No, that's what was said on Lifetime. That's what was said on Lifetime, that an anonymous R. Kelly employee approached you and that they tried to lure Faith into this car. All of this stuff was said. That wasn't true.
That's how they labeled you, Cash. I didn't label you that way. So be mad at Lifetime. Lifetime said a lot of things that people didn't say and use verbiage that wasn't said.
Okay, well, I'm going to say this. When they called me, they made it like this came directly from your mouth. When Sudi called me and she was talking to me, that is what was said. They said that you said I had a gun and I blackmailed you. And I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't.
Miss Jones, and I'm telling you the God's honest truth. What I said when you heard whatever came out of my mouth on Lifetime in the segment with me and my husband, that was all that was said at that moment.
Hold on. I think I need to unleash some text messages from Lifetime. I think I need to tell the truth. I think I need to tell the truth about what happened at Lifetime. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I think I need to show some text messages between me and Sudi. I think if I show some text messages, it's going to shut down a lot of people's shit. But let's go.
I have had no
What up,
conversation
Gemini
with
Dawn?
anyone in lifetime in regards to that what you're stating. And you can believe it or not. That's totally up to you.
Grown little boy, you have something you want to say, puppy?
I'm gonna let Miss Rogers finish.
Okay.
But I'm up to I'm you know, I've in 3 years I chose not to go, but today just wasn't a day. Today just wasn't a day that I have to time, you know, it's gone yesterday, totally lying. Then here you are today with your mouth on them. Leave the Rogers alone. We aren't in.
Listen, the only reason you were even spoken on, it's not to bash you, Kelly. It's definitely not to bash Faith, because that's not the energy I have towards your daughter.
It's
Miss Kelly, Miss Rogers, yes.
I'm your elder. I'm Miss Rogers.
Okay, so it's Kelly at Applebee's. Now it's Miss Rogers. Okay, well, Mrs. Rogers. Me coming on here wasn't about bashing you. It wasn't about bashing your daughter.
I'm not gonna. I don't allow people to don't disrespect me, because you're being disrespectful as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not being disrespectful towards you. And if you're gonna talk to me, you talk to me like the woman you are, as I'm talking to you. All that sarcasm. I'm not 25. I'm not 35.
Yo, who does she think she is?
I'm not them chicks on the street, and I'm not them people you write novels about and dreams about. I'm not them, and I don't care how you talk to somebody else. I don't allow my daughters to talk to me any kind of way, and I'm not gonna allow you when you're the same age as one of my daughters. So all of the he and all of that, I don't have time for it. So Cash, I'm just asking you. An adult woman to a young woman, please keep the Rogers out of your conversation. I respect that you say what you say, but just if you have
J-Rod, you hit it on the head.
Or somebody I said you have my number, and I'm telling you personally, when you call me and you record it, you can ask me whatever you choose, okay? But I'm done with this.
Thank you, Mama.
You calling me because today.
I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to say, hey, to the people that came in late. What's going on? It's new to a lot of y'all, but it's old to me. It's old to me, very old to me. Prima said, no, this is old. Yeah, it's new to a lot of y'all, but it's old to me. So with that being said, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Be someone important. Be yourself. For everybody that donated, I thank you so much. For everybody hit the Cash App, I thank you so much. Going out, please violate me and hit that like button. Also, share me out. The more y'all share and the more YouTube put me back into the algorithm so other people can, hear what's going on and see what's going on, and they can look and draw more folks. With that being said, elephants don't swat flies, jets fly with turbulence. And on that note, I got one thing to say about all of this. This is crazy. See y'all tomorrow. I'm gone. Peace. Thank y'all for joining me. One.
Now they won't overbook me. I was down bad, I shook it. Ain't nobody gave shit to me, I took it. Might as well pop shit since they looked it. Why this? Do you know how long it took it? Why this? And I take too long to book it. How shit can smell what I cook? Cause the time I book, fuck time. I'm a credit, I told you. So book. I was yeah, book. It's like a trying to give me Turn around, turned up on both the niggas. I thought I was local, D. Now they splitting up dope with niggas. That's what I told the niggas. I'ma need that deposit up front. Nigga, that's $2,500. Yesterday ain't the same price today. Nigga can't afford me no way. Can I get a S?
Hey, Prima, send them all to me.
See it, stress. But I'm out here standing on business. Bitch, book business and I'm blessed. Niggas broke talking about who the best. Who the dope sticking notes all over my desk. I was saved by the bell like I missed the bell. They hate to tell the nigga you failed. Poppin', plus this ice on me. All my pockets swell. I'm up and thank you very much. I'm going out like Elvis.
From Birmingham, Alabama, to Memphis, Tennessee. You forever got a friend in me. I go by CT. Alicia talk your shit's naive.
Never been a phony bitch, I'm cocky and I'm too nice. Nothing like you bitches that be fucking on the first night. Niggas get caught thinking they be cheating on their own wife. Don't get mad at me cause I've been fresh like this my whole life. Any disrespect, you know we coming and it's on sight. Most you bitches rapping just be capping and you can't fight. Running down on one of you hoes under the street light. All up on the internet trolling claim we got me right. I've been fighting demons, they been chasing me my whole life. There's so many wrongs in my life, I gotta make right. This ain't what I imagine my life was supposed to be like. Hope that nigga when he make bail, then he was up right. All these niggas claiming they real, ain't even cut right. These niggas they be acting like bitches, they better get right. These niggas out here killing, taking chances when they don't like. These niggas out here snitching to make bail, they ready to take flight.
Lisa, you ain't never lied. Niggas talking slick, then you know we gotta slide. I pray I catch these motherfuckers when they going live. You know I hit them up like Machiavelli still alive. If you play me like a pawn, find your body in the trunk. Hey, you smelling like a skunk while we smoking on that farm. Lies we the bomb, fuck an unfit trunk. Ballin' on these bitch made niggas slam dunk. Took a trip out to Houston to holler at my homegirl Toy. Told Nisa the plan when we see old boy. Life is a game and it's time to roll the dice. Kill them all and let them live. Memphis nigga never been too nice. Hey, 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 hey.